Hello you guys and welcome to your practice. I'm Dionne and this is a cooling flow which is part of my summer series. I'll link you below with all the deets. So for this practice you're just going to need yourself and possibly some wall space for later on. Hopefully you've got some wall space handy. If not, you could use a sofa or a chair. Don't worry about it too much, we'll get to that later on. So this is a flow, as I said, and sometimes in the summer we might feel a bit intimidated by flow because it can get quite heated in a yoga flow. So I wanted to offer this to you as a demonstration of how you can switch up your practice so that you can still feel like you're getting a full practice but without all of the spicy meatballs. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start with some breath work and this one is just breath work through your left nostril. This is to kind of signal to the body to just chill out a bit, to slow things down. We're awakening the lunar side of the body, the feminine side, and it's a little bit more receptive, softer, less aggressive and heavy and spicy and so on. Try not to say spicy meatballs too much. So you can use a thumb for this. There's loads of different ways of doing it, but let's just keep it simple. All right, so I'm going to use my right thumb to cover my right nostril. You're just going to start breathing through the left nostril. So when you're ready, take a deep inhale. And an exhale through the left nostril. So just do this at your own pace. Inhaling. And exhaling. So continue with your breath, and it might help to think about visualizing filling up on the inhale like you're filling up a balloon. So expanding out in every direction. And with the exhale, you can imagine just deflating that balloon. Just another couple of rounds of breath on your own. And at the end of your next exhale, you can just release that, take a few rounds of breath. Hopefully you're starting to feel more chill. It's great to do at any point, especially if you're feeling a bit stressed or overwhelmed. It's really nice to help calm things down. So you're going to come into child's pose now. So make it comfortable and let's take a wide child's pose so that you're really giving your belly and your organs some space. So come on down, so bum towards your heels. You can always improvise if your bum doesn't touch your heels. You can put some pillows under there or whatever's comfortable. And then forehead to the ground, and as always you can improvise with that as well, bringing something to your forehead like your fists or a block. And for this child's pose, if your arms are extended, try turning the palms up and then soften the fingers, soften the palms. Maybe soften the muscles around your eyes, your jaw. Relax the belly. And let yourself drop into this practice. Greet yourself. A really nice soothing pose, head below the heart. And you're welcome to just come back to this really cooling pose whenever you like during the practice, and goes without saying, but I will say it, to rest as much as you like. Resting is good. But if you do feel ready, on an inhale, slowly help yourself up using your hands. Come to all fours. And you can have toes tucked or not, up to you. You're going to spread out the fingers and we're just going to get into the hands a bit because it really helps if we start to let the hands be trained to support us a bit more so that we can prevent wrist congestion and wrist achiness. So spread the fingers out, keep the thumbs semi-neutral, and then think about the base of your knuckles grounding down on the floor. So really try and press them into the floor, and at the same time press the pads of your fingertips into the floor. So it's almost like you're trying to hold a basketball in your hands. Do you know what I mean? Do you ever do that? Like hold a ball in the air? No? Okay. So when you've got that, we'll add a little bit more. If you're already at maximum, no worries, just stay where you are. But if you want to continue, lift the heel of the left hand up away from the floor. So don't worry if it doesn't lift or that it doesn't lift very far. Just go to what feels right for your body. And put that left heel down, switch sides, lift the right heel up. Take it down and switch it. So we'll do 3 on each side. Quite a nice stretch for the shoulders. So if you've been playing lots of hay farm on your phone app and your hands hurt a bit, I hope this helps. Or taking lots of pictures on your lovely holidays. Yeah, anyway. So when you've done rounds of 3, neutralize, find your basketball hand, and then see how it feels to lift both heels up. Whoa! If it's too much, just go back to the alternate sides. Let's take a couple of those, see how it feels. Nice. And then we'll stretch out by turning the fingers out, kind of like a platypus or a seal. And just turn the fingers as far back as feels comfortable. And then try and check that the low body's supporting you, so try lifting the navel a bit. Then flip it back, fingers to the front. And now we're going to turn the back of the hand to press against the floor, so palm up. And you can totally do this one at a time. We're just opening up, waking up the hands so that they can support us. We're going to move into a little higher up the arms, so shoulders, come back to neutral, try lifting the belly button up, and then sink the chest in between the arms. So you're just shrugging in, shoulder blades squeeze in behind you, and then do the opposite. Press into your hands, push the ground away, let the chin move towards the chest, and then scoop the tailbone under. All right, there's your movement. So continuing, sink the chest. If it feels comfortable, you can lift the tailbone, you can lift the chin. And then push away, rounding the spine. Take one more of these. And just breathe any way that feels easeful, spacious. Nice. Then come to a neutral spine. And then take it back to child's pose, but with knees a bit closer together. And then you can stretch the arms out in front of you, spread the fingers out, find your basketball hands, and then lower the forehead. All right, we'll put that together. So as you inhale, you're going to tuck the tailbone under, press into your shins, chin stays towards the chest, and round forward, all the way up to hands and knees. And you're welcome to separate your feet here. And then do the opposite, shrug in to this cow pose, lifting the tailbone, lift the chin. Nice. And then when you're in this cow pose, send the inner thighs back, send your bum back, and then find your child's pose again. There's the movement, okay? So you can take this again at your own pace, rising up, so lift the space behind your heart, like the angry cat shape, coming forward. Find cow pose, and then press it back. Coming into child's pose. Nice. Take one more of those on your own. Nice. Then rest in child's pose. Take a couple of breaths. Soften belly, soften the face. All right, so now we're going to do it the other way around. So from your child's pose, start to press into the shins, lift the tailbone, lift the head, and come up via cow pose. Then round in, tuck the chin, send yourself back to child's pose. Okay, so opposite way, take 2 more rounds of that. So you can bend the elbows if it helps. So lifting chin, lifting chest, lifting tailbone. And then rounding back like a cat. I hope this feels good for you. Nice way to get into the spine, especially if you've been a bit still, static. Nice. So from here, take a rest in child's pose. Let the elbows drop, rest the forehead, soft belly. Reach the hands out in front of you. Find your basketball hands. Nice. Then you're going to go back to the first way of coming into this pose. So angry cat, round the spine. Come up to hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Lift the tailbone. Lift the chin. Now we're going to move back into down dog. So rather than going back to child's pose, you're just going to take the flow to be a little bit more dynamic. So you can adjust your feet. Nice. Then from your down dog, we're not going to hang out too much here. So come high onto your tiptoes. Tuck the tailbone. Round forward, coming towards plank pose. And then bend the knees. Lift the tailbone. Lift the chin. Nice. Good. Send the bum back. It's a little flow. Lift the knees. Inner thighs reach back. Down dog. Tuck the tailbone, round forward, come towards plank pose, then lower the knees, keep the navel lifting, lift the bum, lift the chin, sink the chest. Nice, so if it's too much with the down dog, go back to child's pose and take that flow that you already did. Child pose, cat, cow. Otherwise, just take one more round of this. Just waking up. And then we'll just pause in down dog. If you're in child's pose, feel free just to hang out there. It's all good. Spread out the toes, spread out the fingers. See if you can ground the base of those knuckles and the base of the fingertips. Really focus on your index finger as well. Nice. Then inhale, come high onto your tiptoes. And exhale, round forward to your plank. Little bit of heat, but not too much. Lower the knees. Find your cow pose. And you might need to take a little bit of space. So knees might move back, hands might move forward. And then from your lengthened cow, you're going to bend the elbows and lower the chest and the chin towards the floor. Nice. So inner thighs reach back. Slither forward onto your belly. Take a pause. Tops of the feet ground. Spider the fingers off of the mat, elbows bent, pointing up into the air, then roll the shoulders back. Peel the chest up and away from the ground. It might be a tiny amount, it might be a lot. And then lower it back down. So just find your flow here. Any way that feels interesting. You can take a similar approach with the chin moving up and down. If you want to add a little bit more dynamic movement, you can roll a bit from side to side. So turning, looking over your right shoulder, then over the left and back down. Then turning, looking over left shoulder, right shoulder, and then down. Place the hands either side of your chest, tuck the toes, find that cow pose. So push up, inner thighs move back, lift the chin, and then take it back to child's pose. Pausing here in child's pose, just feel, notice temperature, breath. And you're welcome to stay here, otherwise stretch the arms out in front of you. All right, we'll come through the angry cat. So rounding forward. From angry cat, drop into your cow, tuck the toes, push back, down dog. All right, guys, you did it. So from down dog, you're going to come high onto your tiptoes and then tiptoe forward towards your hand. So take it slow. So every time you lift a foot, plug the leg in, really activating the lower part of the core. I mean, core is everything really, but nice. Feet hip width distance apart. Lower the heels down, lift the toes now, spread them out, and then bring them back down to earth. So know that you can always put your hands on a chair or get a pile of books or whatever if the ground feels far away, okay? So from here, you're going to take left hand to the floor and bend both knees. All right, so you kind of, as if you're going to sit down, but not quite. You dropped a chocolate and you're just, I don't know. And then from here, you're going to straighten your right leg and then lift the right elbow up into the air for a twist. And see how it feels to gaze down. So that can be a bit more cooling than looking up. So keep it chill. Roll the left shoulder away from your ears, and if it's comfortable, you can stretch the right arm up into the air. And you're welcome to be static, but sometimes when it's hot, I like to take really slow movements. So you can lower the right hand back down, bend both knees, and then prepare to launch. Re-straighten the right leg, reach the right arm up into the air, gazing down, space for your neck and ears. Then lower that right hand back down, swapping sides, bend both knees, right hand to the floor, straighten the left leg, and then slowly lift the left leg up into the air. Left leg, left elbow. That would be weird. That would be really difficult. Maybe you stay here static. Maybe you extend left arm up into the air. Maybe you take a little flow. So whatever you feel like doing. So it really depends how hot you're feeling, how much you're feeling like you want to move today. But slowly release, left hand down to the floor, bend both knees here. Nice. Now you're going to take both hands to the low legs and inhale, lengthen the chest, roll the shoulders back. Ooh. And then exhale, refold, tucking the chin. From here, bend the knees. You're going to come via chair pose, but not for long, so not too spicy. Reach all the way up, push into your feet, come up to standing. And then exhale, circle the arms all the way down. Take a breath here. We'll take a real mini flow. So you're going to inhale, reach the arms up. And then try bending the elbows. Maybe give yourself a little pat on the back. So tuck the low ribs in and reach the elbows up. Then see how it feels to extend the arms up. Maybe gaze up. Exhale and fold yourself forward. So circling the arms, come on down, tuck the chin. Then bend the knees, reach the arms up, chair pose, press up into your hands. And then lower the hands down. Nice, one more of those. Inhale, reach the arms up, then bend the elbows, give yourself a little pat on the back. Draw the back of the head into your forearms, and then extend the arms up, maybe gaze up. Maybe take a little back bend. And exhale, fold it forwards. Try and keep it casual. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, bend the knees. Drop into your feet. So nice to ground when it's hot. Inhale, lift up into chair. And push all the way up to standing. Exhaling, arms swing by your sides. Bring the palms together, step the feet together, take a couple of breaths here. Spread out the toes, and we'll move towards tree pose. You can take the hands to your hips if that's more comfortable. Lift the toes up, spread them out, and then bring them back down to earth. Shift the weight into your right foot, bend the left knee, and then turn the knee out. Find your tree. So there's a tree pose video I made if this is a complete nemesis pose for you. Don't worry about it, it's been mine for a while as well, so I'll link it below if you want to pause this video and work on your tree. Otherwise, know that you can always adjust the tree. You can always take the tree foot into the floor so that you've got a bit more of a foundation. Nice. So from tree, see if you can lower the gaze to somewhere on the floor that's not moving. And then gently remove the foot, turn the knee forward and swap sides. So nice and gentle, not too heated, just casually hanging out. So with your gaze, see if you can make it a little bit diffused. So the summer, especially with our yoga practice, it's really nice to soften it up. So no kind of hard edges, try and keep it somewhat fluid. Then from here, move the foot, turn the knee forward, bring both feet together to the top of the mat, and inhale, reach the arms up, hook the thumbs, spread the fingers out, maybe take a mini back bend. And exhale, bend the knees and fall forwards. You can separate the feet here if that works. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, step back to down dog. Lower the knees down and sit back on your heels. Take a few breaths there. And then we'll take gate pose. So come up to kneeling, away from your heels, and you're going to step your left foot out to the side. So ideally you want that right hip over your right knee, there or thereabouts. That just creates a nicer foundation for you. And on that right foot you can tuck the toes or not, so it's totally up to you. If you've got tender knees, you can always fold your mat over or use any kind of blanket or padding. Okay. So with your left foot, you want the whole of the foot on the floor. So face the toes forward and really press into that foot. So hopefully that feels quite nice. So spreading out the toes, you can reach the arms wide, bend the elbows a little bit, so not too dramatic. I'm going to take your left hand down to your left leg and then reach the right arm up. So get long through the right side body, and then option to come up and over into a side stretch. And I like to take that top arm, bend it and make a little hammock for my head so the elbow reaches up, so you're getting length into the side body. Try and keep that left leg really active, so really lift the thigh, but keep the face casual. Nice. And then from here, use that right arm to reach up. Nice. And you can reach the arms out as you swap sides. It's a bit of a balance. Nice. So find the other side. It might feel a bit different. That's okay. So this time, right hand down, left arm up, and then take it into your side stretch. Doesn't have to be a crazy dramatic movement at all. In fact, with this posture, it's almost a little bit difficult to go really deep. Nice. So send the weight down that left side and reach your left elbow up. Lovely. And then slowly come back to center. Knees together. All right. Option to take a little rest, a little child's pose, or tuck both toes and stick your hands in your imaginary pockets. Squeeze the elbows together, roll the shoulders back, send the inner thighs back. So it's a bit of a kind of opposites attract Paula Abdul 1990, I don't know, sorry. Opposite forces kind of thing. But we're going to come into a back bend, but you want to keep the glutes engaged, okay? So squeeze the elbows together, lift the chest, and as an option, you can take that right hand down to your right heel, left arm reaches up and back, and then come back up to center. Use that left arm to help you, and then into the other side. So keep the lower body really supportive so that you can open up. And inhale back to center. Sit back on your knees. Rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Bring the chin towards the chest. Nice. And just take a little body scan at this point. Just check in how it feels to move around, to flow. So the summer season is an ideal time to get into our flow, to go with the flow, not to force or to push things, but instead to get in sync, find a rhythm that's in tune with the season at hand. So with that, after all that movement, we're going to take a well-deserved rest so you can lift your head. And this is where you'll need the wall or a sofa or some kind of chair. And all you're going to do is lie in front of the wall and take an inversion. So you're just going to send your legs up the wall, and there's all kinds of ways to get in, none of them that glamorous really, but simply inch your bum as close to the wall as possible, then come to lie on your side and then roll up the legs. As an option, you can always take a block or a blanket underneath your hips. That can sometimes feel really nice. And then stretch the arms out. And I recommend staying here as long as you possibly can. Really nourishing pose, really cooling pose. So take your pleasure seriously. And I hope this practice felt good for you. And I hope to see you in the next video. I'm going to stay here, but I'll link information below. Thanks for joining me.